Okay, good morning traders, and welcome to the Bookmap All Markets webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. We're gonna go through the live forward-looking order flow analysis with Bookmap here, and try to get understanding or insights order flow analysis from the order book and the heat map in Bookmap, as well as the transactions, and understand this context between the the aggressor volume, which is the market buy and sell orders, and the order book. This is what it's all about within the context of the structure, market structure. So let's go through the disclosures first, and then we'll jump in. General disclosure: all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's jump in. We're looking at the S&P E-mini here. Interesting morning here, and just traded up into this high liquidity here. That had been in the order book for a while here, since 6 a.m. or even before. You can see over here, this is the kind of insight that you can get. You can understand why the market is stopping up here, because there's high liquidity up here, right? So really some really nice moves here in the morning. Take a look at this from 9:30 cash open, the move down to lows down here below the swing here. Okay, this is the swing low for the overnight, and then look at the buyers come in. All right, now this is what we want to look at: this liquidity and also this liquidity down here. And we're trying to get an understanding and context between that and the aggressors in here. Well, the aggressors, they traded up into this liquidity up in here in the pre-market. They came in and pounded it to the downside. They never came and tested this 42.10, and then buyers came in. Right, so and the buyers came in and lifted it up into this 42.20. Now let's take a look at the bigger picture and what exactly is going on in here. Okay, the bigger picture is really simple. We have a gap. Okay, this is where the market gapped down from Friday. On the 15-minute chart here, the hour in the center, and then on the left-hand side is the daily. Okay, so we're looking for this this gap fill here. Look at this strong a candle here, okay, on higher volume than the previous candle at the open here. So you can start to understand now, what's going on in kind of a bigger picture. Okay, now you can take this understanding and relate it to Bookmap. Okay, so a lot of traders up here getting filled, limit sell orders getting filled, and maybe we can still go higher. Maybe we can hit the figure. Maybe we can hit this liquidity here. How are we going to know? Well, we're going to read the order flow within it and start to understand. Now look at this order book flip from high liquidity up here as a target on the offer, is now on the bid down here, a little bit lower around this 42.37 area. Okay, so we're watching that. We're watching this structure in here. It's very sideways structure right now. In this moment, you can see that just barely made a higher high here, made a little bit lower high here, and it's very much sideways in here. So let's see what's going to happen. Liquidity is here. These are where the buyers are. Do the sellers want to trade with these buyers down here? That's the context we want to read. Okay, and then if they do, then what? Okay, we're going to go through the scenarios to understand, and we're going to go through what we think the order flow is going to look like. And this is where we can get insight. Okay, so let's just say we're not going to do anything until we see one of these scenarios. We'll take a look here. So first off, we're looking at this range in here. Okay, now the scenario we're looking for on the downside is we're looking for big big red dots to start to trade into this liquidity here. Okay, and then we want to see what happens there. Right, at that point we want to see. In fact, let me just let me mark them here in the future. So this is what we're looking for. Okay, and then if that does unfold, then we want to see what happens down at this 37 level, okay, because we have high liquidity down there. Now, the scenario after that transacts is we want to look at the order book, and we also want to look at the volume, okay, because maybe there's we trade into these buyers here, but there's still more aggressive sellers that are willing to trade it down to 30, right? So or maybe we trade down into here, maybe a little bit lower here. We see trapped sellers, market pulls away very quickly and comes back up, and then maybe we'll get some green dots up in here, okay, big green dots, and then they will lift that market higher, right? So that's one or two of these scenarios in here at this level down here. Okay, so we don't see it down there yet. We haven't seen any of these play out yet. So let's just see, though. Looks like we're getting some sellers here now. All right, so let's see if can they continue now. Can they continue and hit the bid into this 37 liquidity? Okay, now what else do we have on our side here? And this is really important. Understand what you have on your side. You do have high liquidity that's on the offer up in these areas up here, 43 to 44. Okay, that's good, right? So we're looking for this to repel buyers, not attract them. Okay, so we trade into 37. All right, so we'll just read this on the fly here. And now we just had high liquidity here. I'm going to have to clear these drawings, guys. Sorry about that. Hold on. And here's what happened here. Now something changed and shifted, right? We're looking for liquidity down here. High liquidity just came in here, okay? Just right here, okay? It's one player, in fact, that had the majority of this with our large lot tracker. So over 200 of these 231 contracts in here is one individual actor. And look at the sellers trade into it. Let's see, did they trade all of it? So it was 231. Okay, and let's see exactly what transacted here. Yeah, it looks like it all transacted in here, something like that. Okay, so yeah, pretty close to it. Now, what is the reaction after that? Okay, this is where we had an order book imbalance and a skew, and we saw it flash very quickly. We needed to zoom in here. So we were looking for that scenario to unfold down to here and this liquidity. Well, it happened here instead, and we got our answer in here. Buyers started to stream in. Okay, so once we see the reaction to that liquidity in that area in here, we're looking for the buyers to come in and try to test previous swings in previous areas of high liquidity up in here. Okay, and that's exactly what it's done. Right, so now we've traded into high liquidity on the other side up in here. Okay, so now we want to read and understand and go through another scenario up in here and start to understand. Let me add stops and icebergs. I had them off because I want to go over the market pulse with you guys again. Good morning, Deborah. All right, here we go again. Here's high liquidity here. It just transacted. Now look, though, there seems to be, we'll see this is going to be trapped or not if we get buyers back up above it. Okay, so high liquidity again on the bid, but this time, look how it's a little different here, right? Compared to over here. So now they traded into it, but there's still more selling pressure. Okay, we'll see. We're going to see right here if there truly is more selling pressure or not. Doesn't look like it, actually. It looks like the buyers are willing to trade into these guys here. And there we go. There's our answer now. Okay, so now we see that there is more buying pressure, and now we're looking for these areas to trade, and maybe up to 47 here as well. Okay, buyers, let's see it. And looking for this move into that high liquidity there. And let's see if we can get a breakout here. Okay, if we don't, let's go through the next scenario in here. Okay, the next scenario would be under here, red dots. Okay, and then down into these other previous swings down here. This market to dump down into maybe 30, 37. Okay, so here, this was scenario one. It was what we were looking for this to break out and maybe break into 47, maybe 50 here as well. Okay, we're seeing the buying starting to mount. Let's see if they can continue here. Okay, and looking for a quick move in here and probably a pretty big stop run up into this 47. Okay, now read the quality of the buying up in here. Okay, over here it looks pretty good. We notice a big stop run too, but it's starting to wane a little bit, right? We're not seeing the buying like we saw over in this area in here. And we did make a higher high here, but that's not on a whole lot here. Okay, we're still seeing buyers, and they were able to lift it. Now they should be able to lift it to 47. Okay, because we've seen again buyers' interest up in here. So we had buyers, and then it started to wane a little bit, came back down. Now we're finding buyers again. They should be able to lift it up into 47. Okay, we have the bid as well, showing here at 44. Some interest. And interesting seller, we found some supply here. Okay. Okay, let's see if we can get one more attack here by that buy side. Okay, I think this kind of looks like just a large player coming in and dumping it here, but we'll see. We know there's still buying pressure up in here. So we're going to see if like these sellers in here trying to drive it away from that area or not. You only learn support and resistance. Ali, what we're going over is order flow around specific order support and resistance areas. And, you know, you can take your support and resistance, and it's really more supply and demand, to be honest. Okay, because you can see it in the heat map here. Okay, and that could be good enough strategy for you right there. If you've learned that and you want to make this like a higher probability outcome, start to understand where the limit buy and sell orders are and the relationship of the aggressors in here. Okay, so here let's take, okay, so this failed up in here. The sellers were able to drive it away here. We're probably going to get some buying off of this area down here. Why? Well, this is the market structure. This would be your support, right? What does the support look like? Well, here, look right here, right? So we're getting a bit of a bounce here. Now let's see if we can get more buyers in here right now and lift it up into resistance, which would be up here around 45. Okay. Now, if we can get up there to 45 as well, I know there's buyers up in here. I'm still looking for the move up into 47. Now, at this point, I'd be looking for a bigger move up into maybe 50 at this point. And here's why: because there's more sellers trapped down in here that fuel to move up into a higher area. Okay, so that's what I'd be looking for. All right, so there's your support and resistance. A nice example right there. Okay. In terms of trading strategy, well, you might want to take some off up here. There's see some of this liquidity up here. Well, take some off. If you got involved in it down here around 40, you just made a 5-point move. Protect some of that profit. You can always get back in if you're looking for maybe a flag pattern out of this on continuation on up. And let's see it, buyers. Let's see it. Okay, and we should have a massive stop run up in here. That's another thing, Ali, that we're talking about. We're integrating other things like stop run, which we just unfolded here. The big stop run we were just anticipating unfolded here. Okay, we have icebergs in here starting to sell. So we're getting some market dynamics up in here. Okay, in the order flow. Look at the bid, still supporting underneath at a higher level here. Okay, at 2 different levels here, and we're finding buyers. Okay, still looking for this to go higher. Okay, beautiful stop run. We have a lot of icebergs on the other side though. Look at this dynamic in here between the larger players using iceberg orders and the stop run here with the smaller players using stop loss orders. All right, good stuff. Okay, so this is another thing, like talking about simple support and resistance and looking at much more depth and understanding in here with this relationship of these are actual stop orders here. Okay, that is fact. Okay, we know that from the MBO bundle. These are iceberg transactions. We know that this is fact. Okay, this is a great thing to be able to understand this dynamic. People getting stopped out. Smaller players, they're using stop losses, are getting stopped out, where larger players are accumulating or distributing, I guess. Like they're selling up in here. So is it profit taking, or are they accumulating for a position here? We don't really know that. We just know that there's a lot of iceberg transactions in here. Okay, about 1,500. All right, let's see it here. We got kind of a dip down to this area here. We could look for some really nice trap volume here if we can get those buyers to come in. Here they come. Now, let's see these buyers now lift it up into our 50 level. Yeah, this is why we covered for like a week, we covered the trapped volume. And it should be a part of your setups. Okay, understanding where maybe like sellers here, then these are not stops here. These are new sellers here. There's not many stop orders in here transacting. Okay, so we're looking for these guys to be trapped and then buyers to come in. Okay, so again, this is another kind of trap here. Now we're looking for those buyers up here. Okay, now we're looking for the stop run again up into here. And nope, not yet. Okay, well, that scenario hasn't unfolded. Did we get buyers up in here? No, we didn't. Okay, that's what we're looking for. We need to get the buyers up in here. We got exhaustion here, in fact. Okay, now it's looking much better. Now, let's see if we get buyers up in here at 47. If we do, we should get the move up into 50. Okay, this is lots of nice trap volume in here. We just need buyers to squeeze them. Okay, and then we can get our short squeeze. And here we go. Let's see it. Let's see it, buyers. Let's see the squeeze. Let's see the order book and balance. They're pulling up here a bit. They're adding on the bid here a bit. We're getting some buyers. Not quite enough. Not quite enough. We need more than that. And let's see the move here. Looking for it. Oh, it's a beautiful squeeze if we can get it here. It's looking really good. One thing we still don't have too much, well, it's starting to show a little bit. There we go. Was the order book on our side underneath in here, but it is starting to show now. Okay, and there we go. There's our squeeze. That's exactly what we wanted. All right, so now we've hit the figure, and then I would be taking some profit there. All right, so yeah, anyway, let's take a look at the bigger picture and see what's kind of going on in here. Okay, so we still have momentum here. So still looking for this to go a bit higher here, maybe up to about 55. Okay, so some nice momentum. Now the gap has filled and it's still going higher though. So in fact, Ollie, like we're going to go over, I think in much more detail very soon, more on support and resistance. Okay, because it is precisely because of what you mentioned here. You've only learned support and resistance. That's great. That's enough. So, you know, we're going to add in a whole bunch of other confluences or correlations to make your support and resistance a really much higher probability in terms of working out by understanding the order flow around those areas. Okay, and that's precisely why we want to cover more of support and resistance in the near future. Okay, it's not some sort of whiz-bang thing that we have to invent. You know, if you're a volume profile trader, great. You know, use that. But you know, understanding, you know, just simple technical analysis in here, and understanding though why it works or why it fails is what you're going to get insight from in the order flow. Okay. Let's see here. Rob, let's see. I'm looking over in Discord. Guys over in Discord. Yeah, see if you can get that volume pressure, Rob. That's the one that I covered on Friday, and I just want to stick with that at the moment. Good morning, Dan. I'll reach out to you later, Dan, after the webinar. Yeah, I want to show you here, like just the price change can work as well. I mean, we haven't really played around with it, but this is why I was really, you know, kind of covering again and again the market pulse volume pressure, because it's such a clean and simple idea to understand in terms of back testing. Okay? And in fact, it relates very much to support and resistance. Okay, again, so support and resistance has been kind of a theme today. Guys, this is why I like to take that profit up into the figure up here. Now, you know, I'm actually still looking for this to go higher, but look at all that high liquidity. They even added more in there. See, it's how it's red in here. So I'm looking to take some off there, or, you know, exit completely and look for another setup for it going higher. Right, and we're not looking for too much now. 55, I think. If we look at some of the swings in here, or it's not really a swing, but it's this kind of area in here where it broke down from. Right, it looks like a pretty good area to retest. So we got up to 52 and a quarter, it looks like. Okay, so just still looking for a little bit higher here. We have good momentum. Look at the green bar, big green bar here, and last couple are starting to slow down a little bit, but nonetheless, we can see them in here. So still looking for this, these buyers to try to take this higher. Okay. Now that said, that's that bigger picture. Now we got to look at this lower time frame in here and start to understand what might happen. Okay. Now, did we get the buyer? We just made a higher high in here. I don't see any. I see back and forth in here. Okay, there are some buyers in here, but there's some heavy selling in here now. Okay. Now look at the sellers in here below this range in here, and they're starting to move it away. Okay, so they retested down here to where these buyers came in. Okay, we haven't come back down to the bottom of this range yet. All right, so things are starting to kind of slow down up in these areas in here, and for good reason. We know there's high liquidity in here getting filled. All right, so all right, let's let me clear the drawings here. If there's any questions, happy to go through, and if you need more clarification on some of these scenarios that we outlined and why we were looking for this move up into these areas here. Now, it wasn't so easy. There was some hiccups in here. This liquidity in here that traded what we saw earlier on the bid, that high liquidity, and we saw it trade through it here. It was right here, right? We were looking for the move down into 37. No, we had an order book imbalance, very high liquidity here. Sellers took them on, but they weren't able to trade through, right? So we're looking for the next areas up in here to trade. Okay, these guys pulled, still going higher. This is why hindsight is so easy. That's why we do it in real time, right? Because if we can kind of read this in real time, we can look for these scenarios to unfold. So yeah, we had some back and forth in here, and finally we after some of these big pullbacks in here, trading down to this area here. This is where we're like, okay, all right, buyers failed in here. We know a larger player came in here and dropped it pretty quickly. They were able to push the market down into this 40 area here, and then we hit this liquidity in here. Then we started to outline the move back up to top of the range, or this liquidity here, and then 47, and then we liked 50 at that point, because we know that there's going to be a lot of sellers in here trapped. And now we had to come back and have this kind of big pullback here, but again, right to a pretty nice area in here where those buyers emerged out of that little range right there and moved it up. Okay, now we have something a little different here. See where these buyers came in here and moved it? Sellers are now below it. Okay, so they have taken control of this area onward. Okay, and we can even draw a line or a rectangle across that. Buyers still tried. Usually we see the retest right to the top of this 48 area, and then we see the sellers start to come in, and now they're driving the market. Okay, so looks like that move we were looking for up into 55 is we still may get it, but the sellers are driving the market right now. Okay, so they're moving it, and yeah, I'm looking for some of this liquidity down in some of these areas and these swings in here. All right, so this is what I want to show, Rob, and what I talked about on Friday in detail, and I think it is very worthy and valid in here. All right, so you should have access, Rob, to, you can look at volume pressure or volume pressure imbalance, and then let's look at the ES. Okay, and yeah, that's it. All right, here's our little market pulse widget. And this is what I just loved about it, Rob. I mean, it was like, if we go back and backtest, it's critical. You have to have an edge. You have to build an edge. You have to know that you have an edge, because that's all you got. And then you look for a trade. So Yeah, market pulse is nice to have, Paul. I agree. Good morning, trading for a living. Good morning, Art. Hello from Singapore. All right, Sonic DJ. And Deborah, when you say traders are buying into liquidity, aren't those orders above? Yeah, when I mean, typically when I say, whoa, hold on a minute. So a lot of selling just came in here. Okay, so into this liquidity here. Okay, we knew sellers are driving the market after this point here, right? We can even look at this point as well. Okay, so now let's watch this here. Okay, this is going to probably be a really big stop run down into here. Okay, now again, we can go through another scenario here. We know sellers are driving the market, but let's go through the counter, scenario here. It would be that we'd be looking for the buyers back up above this area here where it just broke down from. Okay, we have high liquidity in here, and then we're looking for our buyers back up above it, and that's our trap. Okay, now this is what we want to look at in terms of putting a strategy together. Now, this is why, Rob, I really wanted to focus on this because it's so simple for backtesting reasons. Just look at some of these peaks in here. Okay, volume pressure, sell off into high liquidity here. All right, now we can look at, does this work as some sort of putting it into a plan, backtesting it, and starting to gain insight, because we have a very simple line here that we're looking at. You can see another one here, and then, well, this is on both sides, so we're not getting too much insight there. Okay, but this one's good because we don't see it on the buy side, right? So is this a capitulation, stop run, and then can we get buyers back up above here, above 40? All right, so when you start to see these things, you can start to look for, understanding, wow, okay, here's my line. Now, what happened around these areas in here, and do I see a potential trade the opposite direction? Right now, no, you don't. Okay, this is what we're looking for in this scenario. Buying into the 50 level, yes, Deborah, those prices are. Yeah, I'm sorry, Deborah. Yeah, so up in here, I got distracted. Yes, these are limit sell orders, and these are the aggressors trading into it. The green dots are the market buys. Yeah, I'm sorry if I said that this is buying liquidity. That was incorrect. Okay, yeah, this is definitely selling liquidity up here. All right, so let's just go back. So we'll do a little bit of hindsight in here and trying to get some insight. How to kind of backtest maybe, and look at gaining some insight in here. Well, this is Rob. It was actually the comment earlier from Ali about support and resistance. Okay, so take a look at it here. Here we know this is support. Okay, we know that there's supply or there's demand here as well. All right, so now what we're looking for is down at these levels in here. We're looking for this kind of selling or capitulation in here. Sellers trying to drive it, and then we're looking for buyers to come in on the other side. Right, pretty much just like this. Okay, here's our market pulse reading here. And then we know we're also in an uptrend, and we know that there's still momentum in this market to the upside, okay, based off of our higher time frame in here. Okay, so what we want to read is down at these support levels, we're looking for maybe an extreme move on volume here, and then for it to be trapped and then snatched away here by the buyers. Okay, there's a good example. Right, it would be even better if we had another market pulse reading here, and we almost did. It almost made the 70% threshold. Okay, so it'd be great if it did. Then we'd be looking for the move back up into this liquidity here, And then, you know, this is how you can start to look at your trading plan. Now, here's another one down in here. There's one here as well. Okay, so this one didn't work out. It was at the bottom of this very small range here. Sellers took it lower. This one looks pretty good. Okay, I think this is one we're looking at earlier. Yeah. So down into this area in here, here's our market pulse. Okay, support and resistance, or market structure is what we've been calling it, not support and resistance. Market structure, we're down at kind of the bottom of the range in here. Would have been great if it came down a little bit further here. It didn't, and then we got our buyers coming in, and then look where to take profit here in the trend. Okay, up into these areas up in here. Now it went higher, right? But it did a deep pullback here again. Okay, so start to look at these areas in here, and you can start to, you know, very much like start to outline a very simple plan. And now I just wanted to cover that example in creating a very simple plan so that you can start to understand how to build backtest. And that's just it's like a baby step. Now, where to make your plan much deeper and you know, optimize it you know, to a much higher degree is start to add some more confluences in here. Okay, this is just one, and that's why it's not a very good one. It's a very simple and clean example. You know, looking at this here, but now you're going to start to put in, you know, additional information. Are we in an uptrend? How do I buy dips in an uptrend? Well, this is a good idea. Okay, where do I exit? Okay, so look at high liquidity. Did it trade into high liquidity, and do I get this market pulse sounding off, or, you know, hitting that threshold up in here? Okay, that's not bad. You know, you can start to put that into your plan. Was there high liquidity down here that transacted on the bid? Okay, so you know, did we go below the swing here? Are they trapped? Are we going to get a stop run into here? And do we get a stop run into here? This is another confluence to add. You could just add your stops in here. Clearly got a stop run up in here. All right, so that might be a good area to consider taking some profit up into the stop run, up into the high liquidity here, because you know that this volume in here looks like a lot of stops. Okay, so there might be a pullback after that, and then there might be continuation. Okay, so here's our look at this, guys. So here's our other scenario in here. Okay, we were way early here, but this is what we're looking for. Okay, I'm just going to take these here, in fact, and just move them across. Can I add one at a time here? Okay. Okay, and then here's our line. Come on. All right, let's just do this. All right, so that scenario played out. Okay, pretty good. All right, now so do you understand, Rob? Like how we can start to understand, like, all right, well, here's our market pulse reading, and then we can look for the buyers here on the other side, and now we're looking for, again, market pulse reading here, and also high liquidity. We're starting to ping here a little bit. Okay, well, let's look over here. Now, do we have anything? We have a swing here. That makes sense, you know, but the liquidity is up higher. There is a level here of interest. It's right here. Okay, that if you can kind of go, you can just kind of go across like that. All right, but it's just a level. I don't really see, I kind of like to see this swing up here instead, or maybe where it dropped from, and we have high liquidity here at 50. So I like that better. So maybe I'd hold and look to take my profit up into here, right? So this would be your entry down in here. knowing what you're looking for in terms of the trap volume, knowing that this capitulation here or this selling into high liquidity in here, and then you're holding and then taking your profit up into here. Okay, so you can hear it, the market pulse volume pressure right now in YouTube. You won't be able to hear it in Discord. Okay, now it's starting to wane, right? So I would take my profit. Okay, so because I know that it came really close up in here, but I'm not finding enough buyers to hit 50. Okay, it started to if you go back and listen to the recording, you'll hear it. Right, that gave some pretty good insight. So I would have been out here. Right, so I gave up a tick or two, but that's it. Okay, now it might be a pullback and we might come back up and break through. Right, but I didn't hear us trying to, or buyers coming in to try to lift this. In fact, it really kind of stopped here. So if there's no more buyers, I'm not looking for it to go higher. All right, let's see if that made sense, Rob. Let's see. Good morning, slow down. Morning, Stephen. Stan. On. Oh, excellent. Okay. Oh yeah, Stan. And others in here. Hold on a minute here. Yeah, how do you backtest? Rob, I sent you something from it was FT71 that he had years ago on how to backtest. You just have to keep it really, really simple. Open an Excel spreadsheet and start to measure things. We'll cover it soon. Yeah. So we'll cover it soon, Rob. I mean, but I would suggest watching that FT71 video again. Like he very very simply goes through it, and it's what's good about it here. This is something that JTrader does. Is he'll go through I mean, his plans originally, like he's back tested for years, and he has all this data that he collected by hand, so he really knows. It's very different than back testing by a machine. Okay, because by a machine, like you're going to get the data, but you're really not going to be able to understand the nuances that you actually can see here in Bookmap. Okay? And those nuances make all the difference, right? If he knows that he's got his moving average pullback and plan, I mean, or maybe it's a VWAP or whatever it might be. Let's put VWAP on here. In fact, let's anchor the VWAP off of this swing down here and let's see what it looks like. Okay, so we're going to reset it here. Here we go. Right, so maybe you're looking at anchored VWAPs, for example. This is why a lot of traders use indicators, is because they just want that clarity and that simplicity. And that's why I wanted to show this one here. Right? So now, you can use your VWAP as well. Whatever. So that can also, let's suppose we come down here and we hear market pulse and it's hitting VWAP and there's high liquidity here. Boom. There you go. Now you've got something, right? Oh, it's don't worry about it, Rob. Just get started and take something very, very simple for your back testing. Yeah, you want to build an edge, and that edge, it doesn't matter if it's 51%. That's an edge. I mean, a lot of the casinos have very, very small edges. But they have an edge. Right? Trading, you can have a lot higher edge, which is pretty amazing. All right, so here we go. Let's go through this one here. Right now, we're going through all sorts of setups in here, right? And that's what we're doing in the all markets webinar here, so that you can understand and put this together here. Here's our VWAP. What else do we have down here? Like, what else are we going to lean on down here? Right? What kind of players do we have on our side here? Well, look at the order book starting to show a little bit of interest here, but they're down below. What about the swing? Well, we just went and tested the swing here. So would I be interested in doing this right now? No, not really. I would not be buying off of this. I would be buying maybe down here in these areas. Okay. Or if I see high liquidity over in this area and I start to hear maybe a market pulse on the buy side in here, on these little upswings in here, maybe I'd be looking to sell to trade down to this area here. If you think that the order flow is kind of shifting over here, and you see more sellers than buyers. Okay, if you see high liquidity at these lower levels, and you're looking for sellers to continue, well, you'd be looking at these little areas in here, potentially little pockets in here to sell down to here. Okay, there's some exhaustion right there. Okay, there's high liquidity here at 48. It's nothing. This is nothing great. We're just talking through it here. Now we have some buyers back up here. Okay, so that kind of negates it. It's like, it can auction up here. Okay, now let's see. Do we forget our sellers here? Yeah, it's not high probability. This is just something it's kind of sloppy and back and forth in this area here. All right, we're looking for something specific. So here we go again, back up here. Found more buyers at a higher area, still auctioning here. All right, guys. So anyway, outlining different potential strategies here to look for. Okay, now let's see if those sellers come in now to try to reach down to here, 43.5. Okay, so look, we're starting to hear our market pulse. Okay, top of the range for market pulse into high liquidity here. Okay. All right, so now we can go through this scenario in here. Okay, so the market pulse is sounding off here. What else do we have? Okay, well, the high liquidity is up in here. We don't have much. Okay, looking for our sellers maybe here at 48, and trade it right back down to 46, or maybe the VWAP this time. Okay, the anchored VWAP. No, still more buyers. Still more buyers, up to 50. All right, well, so I would have missed this move here. I was looking for the move into maybe this liquidity down here. Saw the sellers starting to come in, looking for them to move it down here, and then maybe through VWAP and then back over VWAP. Still more buyers in here. Interesting. Quite a few. Order book skew as well. Okay, there's our sellers. So this is another thing. Um, Rob, you need to go get access to the algos for Market Pulse. Um, I'm sorry, I gave you access, but I guess it's still not working for you somehow. So you have to reach out to support. Anyway, what I wanted to cover here was that if you guys are interested in this Market Pulse tool and you are part of the Bookmap Academy, you'll get it for free, right? So, or Bookmap Junior Academy, or even an applicant to the Academy. I want to cover this here because we're going to meet on this Wednesday at market close, okay, 4 p.m. East Coast time. All right, so we're seeing the sellers come in now. They should be able to hit a bit lower. Yeah, we're just watching it really closely here. Like I don't like this kind of activity in here. I'm still looking for sellers to drop it here, but now we're hitting the VWAP, anchored VWAP, and our market pulse is sounding off here. So again, the scenario would be, what if we can get back up above here, okay, on the buy side? Right, well then we look for a nice move back up into this kind of area up in here. Okay, more sellers, good, good. Okay, through it. And let's see if we can get our buyers back over here on this side. All right, buyers, this should probably be enough. Let's see, one more retest back up here. And then let's see them try to lift it back up into 47 or up to the swing here, 48.5, or maybe up into the bigger swing up here around 50. Okay, now both sides are pinging here, right? So this is turning into a battleground in here, right? So now I'm looking for the sellers to stop and I'm looking for the buyers to continue here. Okay, now dried up, right? Okay, so according to this, then you would take some profit in here, right here at like your 46 3/4. Okay, because you're looking for this move to work, and we're waiting for the more and more buyers in here. No, we're not hearing it. We're out. Rob, here's another way. Like we'll go over this, but I just thought this market pulse was so clean and clear. It's not as clean and clear today, but boy, it was the other day. It's still pretty good. I mean, we're still getting like these extreme readings up at the highs of the ranges or bottoms of the ranges on the sell side, right? There's no question about that. You can see it here, right? It's still doing it. And it's still giving clarity, but it just seemed clearer the other day. We're getting kind of both readings in here as well. You can do the same thing with anything though. If you want to look at your cumulative volume delta, for example, or your stops or whatever. Okay, so here's how you'd study this using cumulative volume delta. Okay, is backtesting in here. Is all right. Well, you're looking for divergence, right, down at the bottom of the range in here. If you're looking to trade it back into the range in here, you're looking for divergences. So you're looking at the bottom edge of this range here, and then what you're looking for in Bookmap is to put the pieces together. First off, you want to see divergence. Now you have divergence here, but you made also a higher low here, so it doesn't really count. Right, so you'd have to take this one out of the study. All right, so what about this one up in here, top of the range? Okay, And do you have divergence? Not really. Yeah, not really. I'm not really seeing much. Anyway, look at your extremes, and then also look at the order book. Match these ideas with the order book. All right, so let's see here if we can try to find an example, a better example with the divergence, or either positive or negative here in CVD, or maybe just momentum. It doesn't matter. We're looking for something to combine the cumulative volume delta simple line in the subchart here to the ranges in here. Okay, so this is turning into momentum here, at least cumulative volume delta. Now we might start to see some interesting readings up here. No. Now we're getting quite a bit of volume in here. Let me see what my settings is. Settings are 7. I'm sorry, 5 minutes and 10. This is the regular default values here. Okay, so now we're starting to, maybe we'll see some divergence here. Let's see. Okay, so some back and forth in here, a lot of buying here, a lot of selling. Are there more buyers back up here again? Well, it's almost made an equal high here. It's just not enough here to really put it together. It is making lower highs here, but it's making a lower high here as well. We want something a little bit clearer. Okay, maybe we'll get it here. Maybe we'll get our stop run here. All right, so now we're starting to see something interesting. Up here, we just made a higher high on cumulative volume delta, and we made an equal high here in price. Okay, so it's not a signal right now, but we've noticed that. So what does that potentially mean? It means that up in here, there's high liquidity. We haven't traded into it, even though we had lots of buyers here. Okay, now we still may, right? So, we're waiting and watching here. We're looking for a scenario for this cumulative volume delta, and that scenario would be this red dot here. Okay, right here. All right, here we go. All right, so now we're looking for, because we have more buyers up into this liquidity here, we're looking for trying to drive away from that area now, right, up in here. And we're looking for the sellers to start to come in. We're not getting it yet. Not getting it. It's still making higher highs, but it's making kind of an equal high here. There's still more buying. It means there's more buying pressure in here. That's what this means. I mean, it's very, very simply. However, price is not able to really go higher. So there must be some absorption up in here as well. Okay, so that's why we're looking for sellers now. Okay, and then once we get our sellers, we can even look a little bit higher now on the sell side here at 50. Okay, looking for a big red dot and to pull this market down. Okay, that would be your divergence play. And then looking for where, all right, well, you know, you can look at a swing here or swing here, or maybe back to VWAP. Now, if you're a volume profile guy and you like your high volume nodes or something like that, well, then this 4750 looks like a pretty good area. Okay, it's at the bottom of the range as well. Okay, so that's what you'd be looking for then. And let's see if those sellers can now come in and drive. They need to drive it away from all of this area up in here, and quickly too. That's how you get these really, really fast moves, and then you just chops for a while. Okay. Still looking for it, 4750, and maybe lower. Maybe down to that anchored VWAP we have at 4650 or so. Okay, well, the idea didn't pan out. All right, so you would have been, you could have taken some profit here at the first one that we drew up before it hit, and then the second one here. I would look for the second one, and I would have been stopped out at break even on this. The idea didn't work. Okay, I was looking for more sellers. We had our reasons for it. We had high liquidity, and we also had the potential trap in here. We just did not get enough big red dots in here or aggressive sellers to try to drive it to these lower areas here. Here we go again, though. It's still possible. It's in play. It did make a higher high here, but we still see some divergence. Now we have some more sellers here too. That's good. What else do we have on our side here? Okay, so we still have our divergence. We have another divergence play now. Okay, it's not the greatest, but it's there. And well, we don't have much on our side here. We have high liquidity up in these areas here, and then down in here around 48 or so. And let's take a look at our bigger picture too. Okay, so we were looking for this area in here, and we spent the whole webinar basically, and we still haven't gotten to that 55 area that we were kind of looking for. Okay, we're just retesting the highs right now. This 5250 area here. Yeah, here's your divergence. No question. No question. What we have here is here's your swing high in CVD, and then here's a higher high. Look at this. Look, all this selling in here has made CVD a much lower high here. All right, so now we have something here in CVD. Okay, what do we have? What else do we have here? Well, we have the order book now on our side. Okay, we have this high liquidity in here. Now, the one thing that I've seen this is why I actually don't like CVD very much, is because if there are buyers up in here, they're going to rip through it, and we're going to get a big stop run. Right, and these are all trapped sellers in here. We're trying to lean on these sellers for CVD to give us insight, and it just doesn't matter. This is why, like, we want to understand the trap more than we want to understand a CVD reading. Okay, so now this, we can get a beautiful stop run and a rip higher up into 55 here, and this should be pretty quick too. So and let's see, there's our stops. Yeah, there's our stop run. Okay. Right, so it was these sellers in here in CVD that are on the hook. Now, we can still look at this though. And now we know there's a stop run. Okay, and we're looking for that move a bit higher here. And now, do we have any reasons for looking for now sell side? Okay, after a stop run, and then wow, we see obviously the CVD has bolstered here just due to the stops, and then now our sellers come in. Yeah, this would have been kind of hard to capture. I think this is just not enough selling in here for me to look for it to hit down into these lower areas in here. Okay, and look at the selling in here. Okay, look at the dots. And it did it nonetheless, but now the dynamic in here is much more complex than what we were looking at earlier. Okay, we're looking at a really simple CVD play here. Okay, well, this is what happened, right? And it happens all the time. This is one of the reasons I don't trust CVD. I want to understand this dynamic more than I want to understand this. But I'm just trying to make it simple so that we can walk away with something and make it into a plan, basically. That's it. Hey, Malak, you got your subscription back. Excellent. Oh yeah, go sign up for the Academy. Absolutely. Let me oh, thanks, Dan. Dan put the Academy link in there, guys. Let me go through this here because I'm really excited about this. We've done one of these meetings before. It went great. We're doing another one this Wednesday, and yeah, let me show you here what it's all about. So first off, the Bookmap Academy program. If you're not in it, you need to sign up for it. Okay, and you need to have Bookmap, but this is what the Academy plan is all about. We want to offer like coaching and mentoring to you, as well as like for you to start to dig in and create content and document and journalize your trades. If you can do that consistently, then you can be on the path to getting Bookmap for free and a lot more. Right, so we're sharing a piece of the pie here, and we want you to be better traders. So elevate your skills in here. Come in here. This is how it works. There's a Bookmap Academy and a Junior Academy. The first step is to apply to the Junior Academy and start creating some content, and we'll take a look at it. And we will review it. That's what we're going to do on Wednesday. We're going to review some of the Bookmap Junior Academy content, and we're also going to announce some of the traders that made it up into the Academy level here. Right. So these are the steps. This is how you sign up. You just scroll down to the bottom here, and you can sign up right here. All right. So anyway, the steps are pretty straightforward. Start creating some content, journalize your trades. We will take a look at them, and we'll give you feedback on them. Well, look at this a little bit more than that. We gave Steven some feedback last time about it was overly complex, and that doesn't help, right? So this is why we're going over exactly today as well, like really simple things to understand, to put into a cohesive plan. Anyway, that's the kind of feedback we want to give you. And you can be networked here with other like-minded traders. You're going to get access to pre-released add-ons. And we're following through on that promise right now. Okay, we're going to give you the these new algos to the Market Pulse tool. Okay, so free access to some of these add-ons. All right, now If you get invited, you'll be invited, and it's invite only, to the Bookmap Junior Academy. This is now you've crossed, you've gave us your application. You've shown interest by documenting some of your trades, and then we need to evaluate: is it good? Is it good stuff? Can we give you good feedback? Can you get better? If you can, you'll be invited to the Bookmap Junior Academy, and then that's the proving ground, basically. If you need to make a quota of very, very simple. It's just one piece of content per day, but and you have to be very consistent, and it has to be quality. Now that there's a quantitative and qualitative. So that the quantitative is one a day, and the qualitative is it has to be of quality. And there are many examples to take a look at. Okay, so here, just right now, I can show you one in the Bookmap, in the chat room for this webinar here. Here's Stan's. Look at Stan's content in here. It's excellent, right? He goes through and he says sellers conviction to go lower, lower conviction, or low conviction to go lower here. He's noticing that. He's marking it up. He's marking up the look at the volume here. Okay, so you can even see he's taking positions in here as well. Okay, so he's looking for this follow through to the upside. Look at, they're adding liquidity underneath here on the bid. Okay, great. He's looking for this to go higher, right? So, and then he's got a few other images in here as well, but it all follows through. So then here's his entry, and here's his stop loss that he moved up. You can see what he did here, right? It's fantastic. Okay, and we're hearing again market pulse reading here. So this is where he got in, and then you can see this is where his stop loss and take profit were, and then he widened them out. Okay, so he moved them. He moved it way up above here, but in his stop loss he moved up to here, and he got stopped out. So we had a small winner in here. Fantastic job, right? So anyway, that's when we give feedback on this kind of content. Stan has made it to the Bookmap Academy level. All right, what do you get at Academy? Let me show you. So at this point, you've made it into Bookmap Academy. You've made the quota threshold and its quality quality content, and you've made your threshold in the quantity as well. So we will invite you to Bookmap Academy here, and you continue to do the same thing, and you can get Bookmap for free. If you continue on, you can get to step 3, which is what we're going to go through on Wednesday at market close. There'll be coaches. They're going to give you some feedback on your content. All right, and if you do really well there as a coach, you'll get, well, if you're invited to be a coach, you can get your market data for free as well as Bookmap for free and add-ons. Right, and then if you do well here as a coach and you continue to make excellent content and you're helping others, we'll help more by becoming a streamer here. And there's other incentives. You get everything else, but you'll even get other incentives in here to become a streamer. And there's 3 Bookmap Academy members who have become streamers: Tom B, Moby, and Doug. Okay, Doug Pless. All right, so some great stuff there. All right, guys, really interesting moves here. Continues to screech higher here, and we're going to see stop runs all the way up, and we do. Anyway, high liquidity up in here at 58, and looking for a bit of a pullback now. That's a lot of buying in here, and the markets do need a little bit of a rest after something like that. Okay, so we get a slight pullback here. We went above our 57 area here, or 55 area here. Right, so it's done the move we were looking for. And I would look for a pullback in here, right? And then maybe back down to, something like 45 or so, something like that. Now, we still have a lot of momentum in here, as you can see. Okay, so maybe we need to cut back up into above these wicks up in here around this 4270 area here. And all of these wicks in here, this is where we found sellers earlier that made it drop. Okay, are they going to defend it? Right? Are buyers going to attack it? Right? And that's what we want to read in the order flow. And buyers are definitely attacking it. And we're back up here again. And not much of a pullback at all. Okay, again, we do have some divergence in here. It's not much. One of the things you can note in here about the cumulative volume delta, as well as using this market pulse in here, is understanding the relationship within the trend. Okay, if you're in an uptrend, in cumulative volume delta, you're not necessarily looking for a divergence up in here. You're looking for it on the swing lows here. Okay, so you're looking for some sort of deeper insight, because the divergences work really well in the ranges, but on the trend, you're looking at the bottom edges here in the uptrend, and then trying to get some sort of insight. And it's kind of hard to say in here. I mean, kind of squint at it in here. I guess here you have one that's not bad, right? And that you could have taken it up to the top of the range and try to continue to hold it for a bigger move here. You would have been stopped out, but you're looking for it to continue here because you're in a trend, and this is where you'd be looking for it. I would be getting in somewhere around here, to be honest. I would wait for these buyers to come back in, but this is the idea with cumulative volume delta, is the swings. Okay? The swing low is here, okay, and then all of this buying in here and this little bit of selling in here. There's more buyers in cumulative volume delta here, right? So that's where this is just a quick pullback, and you're looking for buyers to come back in. All right. All right, let's see here. Any more questions? Let's get to these questions here. Yeah, let me get back to this Bookmap Academy in here. So again, you're all invited to come on Wednesday, but if you're interested in partaking in the program, then sign up here, okay, and apply for the Bookmap Junior Academy here. And then the next step is you'll come into Discord, and then the Discord here. Let me show you where it is. Okay, so you will go to it's up above here. It's going to be in this room here. Well, it's going to be in the voice channel room here, but you need to come in here after you apply. You need to come in here, and then you'll request. You see Dan's doing a great job here, and giving you guys your spreadsheets. So why we request this here, or it's necessary, you have to, is we need to capture your email from the application here on the website, and we also need to capture your Discord username in here. So that's why we have you come in here as step 2 of the process. Request your spreadsheet in here, and we'll give it to you. All right, and send it to you, and then start filling it out. Okay, pretty simple stuff. And now we'll have the meeting here also in Discord. So that's what we have planned. Wow, this continues to go higher. This has been pretty strong here. All right, so let's take a look at our bigger picture here. Yeah, we're getting there. Okay, 70 is I think what we called it. The swing high is around 69 or 70. So, maybe around this kind of 67 to 70 would be the swings. I mean, heck, it might be strong enough to make it up to here today. We don't know, right? We're trying to read it in here and understand it. We read the gap fill. We're looking for that, and then we're looking for this next level up here around 55, and then some back and forth in here. We're looking for some sellers and maybe pull back to this VWAP in here, which actually worked out pretty nicely in here. And then we started looking at cumulative volume delta, etc. So anyway, guys, this is what we're gonna meet on Wednesday. We're gonna give you market pulse for the Bookmap Academy for the beta period to try it out and see if you like it and create some content off of it. You'll get like extra consideration if you make content off of the market pulse tool, okay? Because we can give you some insight on that, which we want to build out. So that's the reason for that. We're going to announce a few Bookmap Junior Academy members or upgrade to Bookmap Junior Academy, and we're going to go over some of the content in there as well, right? And give you some feedback and coaching, and we can also open the mic for those of you who we're covering, if you want to explain anything that you saw in your image, okay, that you wanted to go into more detail. Another thing too, we're going to have our strategies and setups page. I'm going to announce that. That's going to be on Wednesday. It'll be launched. Yeah. Anyway, we'll go more into that. I think in the meeting as well. So a lot of kind of news events in the meeting as well. Right. So if you want to become part of the community in this Bookmap Academy, join up. It's really basically a win-win for you if you want to become a better trader and document your trades. We're willing to give you feedback and willing to give you Bookmap and a lot more if you are interested. Right? We want to build good traders. That's what that's what we're here for. That's why we go through these webinars in here. We want to onboard you and become a really good trader. Right? Documenting your trades is the step in the direction. Journalizing. Building an edge, that we've been talking about that. Let's take a look at, we haven't looked at our market pulse in here. Okay, so building an edge by using some of these tools in here. Yeah, looking for these sellers to come in right now and hit down into here, right? Just down into this swing here. Okay, and I want to hear market pulse. Hit it. Okay, there's a move into it. I don't hear market pulse. It's kind of quiet right now. Looking for sellers. Let's see if they can hit 56 liquidity down here. All right, let's see do they turn into a trap. Well, it's pretty quiet right now. And this is the London close too, right? Or is it not? I'm not sure when the daylight savings time ends. And then we have that kind of strange period where London is an hour ahead or behind compared to the US until we catch up. Yanis, thanks, Alois. Yeah, Yeah, you should be able to. No, it should be Malik. It should be at 11:30 then, but sometimes it's an hour later. I'm not sure. Dan can help out on that one. He's in Britain. Hasta la vista and Barbie. Welcome. All right. Johnny, no, at 42:53. Sorry, like I didn't. I'm just reading your comments now. Yeah, I thought 55. Just here. Here's why. Like looking at simple market structures in here. One of the structure we always kind of look at in here is like this one right in here. Uh, hold on. You can see kind of if you draw your line across here, right? So this would be similar to this right here, and this is why I said 55. Okay, does that make sense? Here again, it's this area here. All right, and we've gone through it, and now we're playing with these kinds of swings up in here. And now I'm kind of looking for this next one here. That's why I'm not looking at 53. I think you were looking maybe at this little swing right here, right? Probably. The kind of high of the day for that it was 50, or it was 42.52, I believe. Yeah, and a half or something like that. So no, that's why I was looking for this one up. Just market structure. What about, like, you can look at the hour. Well, the swing's way up here. So you're looking at 42.94. Somewhere around up in there. And we may get there. But yeah, I'm just looking for some of these moves in these smaller time frames up into these areas here. Yeah. So yeah, and again, answering your question, 42.70-ish area, 68 to 70 or something like that would be some of the next levels. Yeah, Yanis, we're going to have in this setups and strategy section here, we're going to go through order entries as well. Okay, so you found the dome confusing. Yeah, that's why we really like Bookmap is taking the dome data and putting it onto the chart. So you don't have to read the dome. You can just read the heat map graphically here. It's much easier, right? You know that in the dome here, because you see high liquidity coming in here, you know that it's going to be in the dome. The 28th. Okay. Yep. Thanks, Dan. Floyd, scene of the crime. Yeah, that's a scene of the crime is a FT71 terminology. Meaning that something happened there before and you get a return back to that area where it happened before. So like breakouts, a lot of times you get a return back to where it broke out from. All right, guys. Well, we'll continue on tomorrow. We'll go through more of this again, and I'll go into a little more detail for Market Pulse because a lot of you guys in the academy, you're going to have access to this tool. So let's open it up in the discussion tomorrow for this Market Pulse tool. and then look for edges again, building an edge using this tool, and reading the order flow. And then on Wednesday, we'll have the Academy meeting. All right, so sign up if you're interested, or come and attend, and it'll be on our Discord channel. Right, I just sent out an email earlier today about it as well. Okay, so you should have gotten that if you're signed up. Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Dan. The Learning Center you should find very, very helpful. For if you have any questions about Bookmap, let me show you where you can go for that. Just go to bookmap.com, click on the More button, and go to Learning Center here. Okay, in here, the getting connected to data here, how to learn how to use Bookmap, getting started, will be very helpful for you. This is going through the features and components of Bookmap. It's a course. As you can see when you click on here, adding a symbol, navigating through a chart, but this is about using Bookmap. Now, if we go back here, market mechanics course, this is about the markets. Okay, this is a course about market mechanics in here and understanding what makes markets move, and how to read Bookmap within these kinds of moves in here. It's vitally important to understand this. Okay, this is a very different kind of education than you can get from other areas. They're going to go through candlestick patterns and whatnot. This is how the markets actually work and move. This is the mechanics of it, right? So that's why we have that course. Go through that course, and then there's other areas in here to check out, as well as all our different streamers, as you can see in here, and then our calendar here, calendar of events, right? Which I need to add in here is the Bookmap Academy meeting. All right, guys. Yep. Thanks for coming, everybody. We'll wrap it up, and we'll continue on tomorrow and kind of get you geared up for the Academy meeting, and get you all. You all should be getting access to that Market Pulse tool, so that you can check it out and start play around and try to build an edge for yourself. All right, a very, very simple edge, and that could be a really good starting point. Okay. Yeah, thanks everybody, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow, same time. Take care.